across ancient stories and star-filled skies. One legendary creature has inspired poets, explorers, and dreamers for thousands of years. Tonight on Nico Dark Archives, we uncover the timeless history of Pegasus, the mythical winged horse of inspiration. His story isn't just a simple tale. It's a journey woven into the very fabric of human imagination, a symbol that has soared through civilizations, carrying with it our deepest hopes and our most profound ideas. In Greek mythology, Pegasus was described as a magical horse with wings representing freedom, creativity, and the power of imagination. His origins were surrounded by mystery, making him one of the most beloved figures in ancient storytelling. Unlike many other creatures of myth who were born from chaos or conflict, Pegasus was said to have sprung from the earth, pure and untouched. He was a creature of the heavens from his very first breath, a dazzling white horse whose wings could carry him beyond the mortal realm. This ethereal beginning set him apart, positioning him not as a monster to be feared, but as a marvel to be admired, a living embodiment of beauty and grace. To ancient scholars, Pegasus was more than a creature, he was a symbol of artistic inspiration. Writers believed his presence encouraged poetry, music, and ideas that flowed like a river. It was said that wherever his hoofs struck the ground, a spring would bubble forth, and the water from these springs was believed to grant the gift of eloquence and creativity to anyone who drank from it. The most famous of these was the Hippocrene Spring on Mount Helicon, the sacred home of the Muses, the 9 goddesses of the arts and sciences. Pegasus became their companion, a living conduit for divine inspiration, and poets would invoke his name, hoping to capture even a fragment of his creative power in their verses. Many myths linked Pegasus to the gods of Olympus. In some stories, he was seen as a companion of divine messengers, traveling gracefully between the sky and the world below. His speed and ability to traverse the heavens made him an invaluable asset to the gods. Zeus, the king of the gods, was particularly fond of Pegasus, eventually tasking him with the noble duty of carrying his thunderbolts. This role elevated Pegasus from a mere mythical beast to a trusted servant of the most powerful Olympian, a symbol of loyalty and divine favor. He was not a wild, untamable force of nature, but a creature of great dignity who served a higher purpose, bridging the gap between mortals and the divine. One of the most famous stories features a young hero named Bellerophon. With guidance from the goddess Athena, he learned to form a bond with the gentle winged horse, a partnership built on trust, focus, and courage. Bellerophon was a noble youth who yearned to prove his worth, but he knew he could not achieve greatness alone. He dreamed of taming the legendary Pegasus. Athena, the goddess of wisdom, appeared to him in a dream and gave him a magical golden bridle, the key to approaching the winged horse without startling him. This gift wasn't about control. It was a symbol of understanding and respect. When Bellerophon found Pegasus drinking peacefully at a spring, he approached not with force, but with the quiet confidence Athena had instilled in him, beginning one of mythology's greatest partnerships. Together, Pegasus and Bellerophon traveled through mountains, valleys, and ancient kingdoms, becoming symbols of determination and harmony between human and mythical nature. Their most famous adventure was the quest to defeat the Chimera, a monstrous fire-breathing creature with the head of a lion, the body of a goat, and the tail of a serpent. The Chimera had been terrorizing the land of Lycia, and no warrior on foot could get close enough to defeat it. But with Pegasus, Bellerophon could attack from the sky, swooping down to strike and then soaring out of reach of the beast's fiery breath. This victory was not Bellerophon's alone. It was a testament to their perfect synergy. The hero's bravery, combined with the horse's aerial grace, created a force greater than the sum of its parts. Ancient storytellers often used Pegasus to teach lessons about humility. They believed that true greatness came from balance, wisdom, and respect, not ambition alone. After his victory over the Chimera, Bellerophon's fame grew, and so did his pride. he began to believe that his accomplishments made him equal to the gods. In a moment of supreme arrogance, he tried to fly Pegasus all the way to Mount Olympus, to take his place among the immortals. This act of hubris angered Zeus. The king of the gods sent a single gadfly to sting Pegasus, causing the winged horse to buck and throw Bellerophon from his back. The hero fell back to earth, humbled and broken, doomed to wander the earth alone. The myth served as a powerful reminder that even with the power of inspiration at your command, humility is the greater virtue. After many adventures, Pegasus eventually returned to the heavens, where his graceful form became a symbol of hope and aspiration for generations to come. After Bellerophon's fall, Pegasus continued his ascent to Mount Olympus, where he was welcomed by the gods. He lived out his days in the celestial stables, serving Zeus and becoming an eternal resident of the heavens. His journey from the earth to the stars represented a kind of spiritual ascension. He was a creature born of the mortal world who, through his purity and nobility, earned a place among the gods. For the people on the ground looking up at the sky, he was a beacon of what was possible, a reminder that something beautiful and good could rise above the struggles of the world. In honor of his legacy, astronomers identified a constellation shaped after the winged horse. This star pattern, still visible today, reminds us of the enduring connection between humanity and the stories we tell. The constellation Pegasus is one of the largest in the sky, easily recognizable by the great square of Pegasus, which forms the horse's body. For millennia, sailors have used these stars to navigate, and stargazers have traced its outline, retelling the ancient myths. Every time we look up at the autumn sky and find those stars, we are participating in a tradition that stretches back thousands of years. The myth isn't just in old books, it's written in the cosmos itself, a permanent tribute to the power of a story to transcend time. As centuries passed, Pegasus appeared in art, literature, pottery, and sculpture across the ancient world. From Greek temples to Roman mosaics, his image represented inspiration and unlimited potential. In ancient Greece, his likeness was stamped onto coins, carved into temple friezes, and painted onto vases. The Romans, who adopted much of Greek mythology, also revered Pegasus, seeing him as a symbol of immortality and glory. His image was a shorthand for something noble, powerful, and divine. Artists depicted him not just as a horse with wings, but as a creature filled with dynamic energy, always soaring, always ascending. He was the visual representation of a breakthrough idea, a flight of fancy, the very essence of creativity captured in stone and paint. During the Middle Ages and Renaissance, Pegasus became a popular symbol among scholars and philosophers. Many considered him the guardian of knowledge and the guide toward enlightenment. As Europe emerged from the medieval period, there was a renewed interest in classical art and thought. Pegasus was reborn, no longer just a figure of myth, but an emblem of the intellectual and artistic explosion of the Renaissance. Poets like Dante and Petrarch alluded to him in their works, and he became a symbol of fame and poetic genius. For the thinkers and artists of this era, who were pushing the boundaries of human knowledge, Pegasus represented the leap of imagination required to discover new worlds, both on Earth and in the mind. In modern times, Pegasus continues to appear in films, books, emblems, and creative works. He remains a universal icon of imagination and the dream of reaching beyond limitations. From children's fantasy novels to the logos of major companies, the winged horse is instantly recognizable. He is often used to signify speed, freedom, and the power to achieve the impossible. In movies, he carries heroes on epic quests. In branding, his image suggests innovation and a forward-thinking spirit. This modern-day relevance shows that the core ideas Pegasus represents, creativity, freedom, and aspiration, are truly timeless. He has successfully flown from the ancient world into our contemporary culture, losing none of his magic along the way. To many people, Pegasus represents freedom of thought, artistic passion, and the courage to dream. His wings remind us that ideas can soar far beyond the boundaries we set for ourselves, He is the symbol of the aha moment, the sudden flash of inspiration that solves a problem or creates a masterpiece. He represents the part of us that refuses to be grounded by doubt or convention. The image of a horse, an animal bound to the earth, suddenly taking flight, is a powerful metaphor for our own potential. It tells us that our minds are not limited by our physical circumstances, and that, with enough imagination, we can go anywhere. The story of Pegasus survives because it carries timeless values, hope, creativity, and the belief that the human spirit is capable of rising above any challenge. It's a story that speaks to the dreamer in all of us. While other myths might focus on war, tragedy, or the flaws of gods and mortals, the legend of Pegasus is overwhelmingly positive. He is a source of good, a helper of heroes, and a bringer of inspiration. In a world that can often feel heavy and restrictive, the story of a creature that can effortlessly break the bonds of gravity and fly into the sky is a powerful source of comfort and motivation. It's a story that tells us to keep looking up. Pegasus may be a myth, but the inspiration he represents is very real. From ancient storytellers to modern dreamers, his wings continue to lift hearts and imaginations around the world. The next time you feel stuck or feel like your dreams are just out of reach, remember the image of the winged horse. Remember that your thoughts have wings, that your creativity is a powerful force, and that within you is the potential to soar. The legend of Pegasus is not just a story about a magical creature. It's a story about the magic within all of us. You've been watching Nico Dark Archives. If you enjoyed this journey through myth and history, consider liking, subscribing, and joining us again for more timeless stories and hidden legends. Thank you for watching.